Hello guys, Bloodbear115 here coming at you with the DLC 3 rankings of all the Call of Duty Zombies maps. As per usual with all of these videos, as I have done in the past, I'm going to start off at 6, work my way down to 1, because there are of course 6 DLC 3 maps that I can talk about. And we're just going to jump right into number 6.
6!
Number 6, in last place, I think there's no other map that could go in this position, Attack of the Radioactive Thing. It's very possibly my least favorite Zombies map of all time. Oh my god, I despise this map. Mostly because the Easter egg. I fucking hate the chemistry step in the Easter egg. Like, I don't know if I just don't understand it correctly, or if it's just broken, but I always look up the guides and everything, because of course, people nowadays don't figure it out themselves. They look up the guides, unless they're part of the Easter egg hunt, then maybe they found a step or two by themselves. But no one really finds the whole Easter egg on their own anymore at all. So, just all the guides I find, the chemistry step does not work how the guides say, or I'm just an idiot and don't understand it correctly, but that Easter egg has just from the start killed that map for me. And the super Krogs, I'm not a fan of the super Krogs. They are super powerful. For the low round they come on, if they weaken their health down a bit, then maybe I wouldn't hate it so much, but it would still definitely take this place on the list.
5!
And in 5th place we have Carrier. You know, on most of these lists, the Advanced Warfare maps rank really low, and it's not because they're bad, they're passable maps. They're just not as good as the Treyarch maps. The Infinite Warfare maps can sometimes surpass them, sometimes fall behind them, as is a point with Attack of the Radioactive Thing and Carrier. Carrier, I think, is one of the better Advanced Warfare maps. If I had to say, it's probably the second best in my opinion. Like, that Wonder Weapon's pretty fun. The Easter eggs, alright. It's weird, as are all the Advanced Warfare Easter eggs, but it's not stupid or insanely difficult. It's kind of fun.
4!
And now we have Buried. I've never really talked about any of the Black Ops 2 maps on any of my streams ever, because I never streamed Black Ops 2. I've streamed Black Ops 3. I think I've streamed World at War once. Maybe it's just a custom map. I don't remember exactly, but either way, I've talked about pretty much every map on my channel before, except for majority of the Black Ops 2 maps. I think I may have mentioned before Dairies. I like Dairies. Transit, of course, everyone's opinion on that is shit. A lot of people either like Buried or don't like Buried. I'm on the side that does not like Buried. I mean, the aesthetic is really fun. Like, it's a cool aesthetic, like the western town buried under the ground. The witch's house it's cool, but the map is too stupid easy. And the Easter egg, it's weird, but it's not awful. And the transit crew, of course, no one really likes the transit crew. They're all right characters, but even saying that's a bit of a stretch. Very, that's really all I can say about them. So they really kind of kill the map. If you put maybe Primus or Ultimus in there, it would be a much more enjoyable map. The Paralyzer is pretty cool. The Time Bomb is a cool idea. I wish they implemented that again or threw it in another map. That would be really awesome. The Witches are cool, but it just, the stuff it has on the map isn't good enough to bring it up higher on this list.
3!
And now we're moving on to the top half of this list, where the better maps reside. So here we have ShangriLa, which on Black Ops 1 I really wasn't a big fan of, but with Black Ops 3's remaster of it, I've come to enjoy it a lot more. Like, maybe it's Gobblegums that maybe enjoy more, but the Jungle Buster is an amazing wonder weapon, and the aesthetic of ShangriLa is amazing. The only real problem with the map I have is how tight it is. They don't have any big spaces, and the napalm zombies can be a bit of a pain in the ass when you get stuck in those tight spaces. I mean, the monkeys are cool, the shriekers are cool. Just if it had a little bit of a bigger area, maybe run around in, so you could deal with the napalm zombie specifically a little bit easier, it would probably rank up higher on this list.
2!
Now this might be a bit of a controversial opinion, but I'm only putting Darius at 2nd place on this list. And that's not because Darius is a bad map in any vein. Darius is one of the best maps of all time, but in this day and age it's fallen so far behind. It's just so plain and boring compared to the modern maps. You know, the map that's going to be taking first place on the list, Gora Krovi, has so much more to do in it than Darius does. Really all you can do is the fly trap. You can Pack-a-Punch. It introduced Pack-a-Punch, and that's amazing, but it didn't have enough stuff to make it really replayable nowadays. Like the Giant is a bit more fun than Darius, but even still really boring compared to the modern maps. Even like Black Ops 1 and 2 maps, there's so much more to do in them than there is in Darius. And Black Ops 3 for sure has oh my god, there's so much to do in all the Black Ops 3 maps. You're never having a dull moment in there. There's always something to work on.
1!
As I already said, when I mentioned Darius, I brought up Gorod, which is first place on this list. And as I mentioned when I was talking about why Darius was only second, it's because there's so much to do on this map. And it's not a bad map. Like, Zetsubo is a rough map, Revelations is a rough map, and Shadows of Evil is a rough map, but Darius and Drac and Gorod were really good maps, even on release, aside from the Death Barrier glitch when you drop down to the boss fight. That was really one of the biggest problems it had, but it's not a problem with the map, it was just a bad coding issue. And like I said, there's so many things to do on this map. I love the Gauntlet of Siegfried, the dragon that you can send out to help you out is really fun. The Easter egg is super fun. There's so much going on in it. There's a lot of throwbacks, like seeing Gersh come back is awesome. Gersh was an awesome character in Ascension, and it's really cool to have him come back and play a role. And while I'm not a fan of Sophia or really the mechs in general, I don't like mechs. So seeing Nikolai in a mech wasn't great for me, but it's alright because it's kind of a cool thing they did there, making a Panzer into a mech suit for Nikolai. It's a cool concept, but I'm not a fan of mechs, as I just said 3 or 4 times. So that kind of hurts it a little, but still it's better than all the other maps on this list because of all the things going on in it. The Easter egg's really fun. Again, not a fan of Sophia. Everything they did with her was kind of shoehorned in there. Not a fan of it, but it didn't hurt this map enough to make it lower on this list. So guys, that is going to be the entire list for the DLC 3 maps in Call of Duty Zombies. The only thing left is the DLC 4 maps and my big amalgamation list that you guys are eventually going to see. These videos come out very sparingly. I make these very rarely, which I'm sorry for, but it's not high on my agenda to get these done. Anyway guys, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for the gadget, hit the notification bell so you never miss a stream or an upload, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace!